requested that I make a video about the smartest zodiac signs, so that's what this video is about. Before I get started, I want to make it clear that there's different types of smarts. They're not all celebrated by society at large. These are going to be the zodiac signs that are understood in the world of astrology to be the smartest based on the qualities that we value, appreciate, and reward in this society. As an example, Cancer is the smartest sign in terms of emotional intelligence, but because our society does not value emotional intelligence as much, they don't make the list. Libra is also the smartest sign in terms of social intelligence. Again, they do not make the list. So let's go with the signs that make the list based on obvious reasons that we consider certain people smart and certain people not so smart. Number 1 is Aquarius. Aquarius is the smartest zodiac sign. The reason for that is because Aquarius is all about the facts. They don't care about the feelings. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about their feelings. They don't care about feelings in general. If it's not factual, if it doesn't make logical sense, Aquarius is not interested. And when Aquarius does not know something, they research it ad nauseum. This is what they do. There are extensive researchers who only base their knowledge on facts. You are never going to outsmart an Aquarius. Don't even try it. They will embarrass you. Number 2 is Virgo. Virgo is smart because just like Aquarius, Virgo pays attention to the specifics. Virgo is quote unquote a perfectionist, but it's because they notice the details. So Virgo knows when something is off because Virgo knows how things should be. So their intelligence is based on noticing things that fall out of patterns. Number 3, Gemini. Gemini, just like an Aquarius, is ruled by information. Again, all air signs are all about information. Gemini is a creative thinker. So they take information and they're able to mold it in ways that other people have not. Because of that, they're able to discover more. Gemini is a critical thinker. Unlike Aquarius, they want to know what's on the other side of what they don't know. Gemini doesn't just stop at the truth, they challenge the truth to see if it has any merit. Number 4 is Scorpio. Scorpio's intelligence comes from being a shrewd thinker. Scorpio is naturally a pessimist. They don't trust or believe anything. So their smart comes from checking, and checking again. They also have amazing instincts, so they always know when they hear something that does not sound truthful. Number 5 is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is a planet of expansion. Sagittarius also rules the 9th house, which is a planet of truth and wisdom. So Sagittarius is an old soul who's going to get to the bottom of it. And this is how they get to be smart. Number 6, Capricorn. Capricorn, like Scorpio, is a pessimist who's also shrewd with information. Capricorn will double check information like Scorpio. And they have a lot of common sense, which helps them get through the bullshit fast.
Keep life interesting, you know? It doesn't matter what's going on, how hard it gets. You've got to keep it fun. Because when you don't, it literally overwhelms you, especially if you're a sensitive soul like me who just does not like to see people in pain and does not like to see suffering. Unless, of course, they deserve it. Then my feelings might be, I don't know. My feelings might be a little like, well, I don't feel good about it. Like, I'm not like, oh, the asshole is suffering. Like, it's never that. But, you know, all this Saturn energy in me, parts of me is just like, well, what else did you expect? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't ever wanna like box myself in too much because I am a human being, just like you guys, and we all, have our trials and tribulations. If you don't keep life a little silly, a little zany, a little creative, a little weird, that it just gets overwhelming. And when it's not fun, it's a drag. Like manifestation requires joy and love. So you've got to keep some love in your heart. And I'm not necessarily talking about a relationship. I mean like the love of life itself. You've got to find it, whatever that means for you. We all have our things. And this isn't so much about what the thing is, as it is about the fact that everybody needs to find their thing. Because life is not always going to be chippy and cheerful. And when the sun isn't shining, you've got to bring it. You've got to bring your own. You see all this yellow I'm wearing? It's going with this message. See how the universe works? everything is pretty obvious whenever you're on the right track. A pain about control. Saturn like will not let off your ass, and you cannot be irresponsible. Like you don't even have chances to like fuck it up and fix it. Like getting that second chance from Saturn is not easy. You know, some of these other planets are way more forgiving. Saturn is not very forgiving at all. Everything is brutal over here. It's intense, it's very serious, and it's very like punishing because, you know, the room that a normal person would have to make mistakes and to be human and to experiment and to try and to fill things out with no expectation, that room is gone when you go to Saturn, because whatever the outcome is of that exploration, you're responsible for it, and that responsibility generally tends to be a lot heavier than some of the other planets because Saturn is slow moving. So it's going to take you a very long time before you're able to move from that page to Saturn conjunct Moon in Pisces. Oh, yeah. I have no good feelings to share. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Just keep trying. Do not give up. That's all I've got. Saturn conjunct in the first house. Yikes. Wow, you're karmic. People either love you or hate you. Nothing in between. You are intense. So you literally go around wrecking people's lives left and right, sending them to tower moments left and right, all walking away with a gift from you, a little word of wisdom about how to treat one another. That's a lot of work you're doing there, astrological prosperity. That's a lot of work. Well, thank you for your service. Ma'am, sir, they're, them, everyone is welcome. For saying that you love the content. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me when people tell me that. So I always love hearing that because that's why I started doing this. I wanted it to be helpful to someone. So getting that feedback definitely makes me feel amazing. So thank you so much for all of you who enjoy the content and all of you who are engaging with it so that TikTok is not, you know, like, keeping like my videos from being seen, because I make it so you guys can see it. So every time when you see it, like, if you can interact with it, like it, post a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, boo, yay, any of that, I think that would be super helpful. You're the creator of your universe. Whatever is easier to put out your content, making you happy. Thank you for saying that, Amore. That is very true, and that's an energy I've been like leaning into more, especially because my North Node is in Cancer, so I know when my life is moving in the right direction. I am less of the Capricorn life that I've lived so far and more of the Cancer life that I'm envisioning for myself and that I'm channeling now, which is, you know, like going with the flow, going with what feels good, as opposed to like being intentional about every second of the day, which is typically more my style. So yeah, some people have issues with like lack of motivation. I have issues with too much motivation, and it sounds like it's cuter, but it's not. They're both just as toxic. Videos about astrology in a year is intense. That's not something you do casually. That's something that consumes you. Yeah, I did that, and now here we are all sitting together feeling cozy. Isn't that nice? That's kind of how manifestation works. And this is a gift that I had that was like dormant. I had no intentions of being on this path. This is what's so interesting about life. All of the stuff that we do thinking we're like controlling the narrative, whenever we start overstepping that line between desire and possession, because the two are very different. Like you could desire something and then leave it to the universe to bring that thing to you. But whenever you start getting possessive about the how the thing goes down and the mechanics of how that is delivered to you, that's when your manifestation starts to not work. Because at that point, you're no longer asking the universe to help you. You're actively trying to be God. To mean something for someone. I want this to... I know it sounds really corny, but I am an Aquarius, so there is some idealism here that is always here, even though I have all the cynicism of Saturn. You know, there's still this heart that desires more from people and from life, you know. And ideally, this would mean something to somebody. That's like top of the line wish. So if it's doing more than that, then we're already great. Then it was useful, like it meant something. And I know that sounds very like, I'm an artist, but yeah, that's what it is.
Harping on wanting to know things about you, and if you're not skilled to recognize the game that they're playing, you share it under duress. And I don't mean that in the legal sense. They manipulated that information out of you, and that's why you shared it. And they manipulated it out of you because they knew that one day they would need to use it as a weapon to get you back in line whenever you're going against their program. These people manipulate you into sharing information for the sole purpose of using that same information against you to cause you deep emotional damage that leave you feeling so ashamed, so fearful, and so, despondent that you're willing to just keep being in their company because now they have unlocked a new type of hurt that you have equipped them with by sharing information with them that you were not ready to share with them.
It's come to my attention that a bunch of finance bros have been watching my YouTube channel. If you would like me to teach you how to use astrology to make money, let me know. Because I'm a therapist by trade, I never thought about using it beyond healing. But I can help. I know a couple things about.
Having Virgo as your moon placement is quite challenging because it's an earth sign. Earth, as you know, is not very fluid. So it makes it difficult to understand variability in how things present. And then secondly, Mercury energy is all about information processing, which is about thought, right? Which is very different from feelings. Feelings is about what's happening in your heart, and it's about what's hidden and what's vulnerable. And thoughts are just that. Moon and Virgo people are skeptical. They are curious. They're people who like to mull over things, or people who like to challenge. So these are the type of people that love to express that they don't believe in astrology. When in love, they can often forget about their personal needs, and because they're so afraid of sitting still with themselves, a lot of them tend to struggle with just being at peace with themselves in their bodies, and as a result of that, they struggle with their sexuality.
Video to say thank you to all of you who watch my content, who share it with your friends and family, and who leave me comments and who interact with it. I'm not looking at the screen because I'm also driving, so I kind of have to multitask. Don't be offended. When I started making TikTok videos, I was in a really dark place. I was depressed because I'd recently been diagnosed with lupus, I was working a corporate job that I loved and was really good at, and I had no intentions of switching jobs, let alone careers. So I am just as shocked to have discovered this path as you were shocked to have discovered me. And I know that I am a bluebird of some sort because you probably have never met anyone like me, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you get to put me on the pedestal because I'm just a human being like you, struggling with life like you, struggling with ADHD and anxiety and depression like you, struggling with trying to find passion in my life like you, trying to find meaning, trying to be a good mom, a good wife, trying to be a good daughter and a good sister. Like, I am still a human being. My life is not perfect. The fact that my career here on TikTok started with me roasting the zodiac signs should tell you that my life is not perfect, and I never want to pretend that it is. Now, I understand that when you are online and people watch you on the screen, they like to project their storylines onto you. That's fine. This is what I signed up for. But I will always use my throat chakra to let you guys know what's really going on. So for those of you guys that are newcomers to this space, thank you for being here. Those of you that have been here since the beginning, thank you for being here. You guys give me a second chance at a career, because when I left my original career due to my health issues, I didn't know what was next for me. And honestly, my health and staying alive was my focus. So now that my health situation is under control, it's been such a gift to know that I still have work, that I'm still useful to the world and to society in some capacity, and that my lupus and my disability isn't keeping me from being able to make a meaningful contribution in others' lives, because honestly, that is all that I've ever known that I was made for, to be of service. That's that much I know, and that's why I became a therapist. And that's why I'm now working as an astrologer and life coach. I love to serve. Service is what I'm best at. That's what I'm good at. Sometimes my words are harsh. I need you to not take it personally. Because I know in the West, people like to sugarcoat. No, I shouldn't say in the West. That's not true. Because Europeans are a lot more direct. Americans are very much so into faking the funk. Americans love like sweet words that mean nothing and that aren't followed with sweet behavior. That's like the favorite American pastime. Those of us that are not from America and that have grown up in other parts of the world, if you're German, you know what I'm talking about. If you're Indian, you know what I'm talking about. If you're African, you know what I'm talking about, right? If you're Dominican, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're Middle Eastern, you know what I'm talking about. Our parents don't sweet talk to us. They talk to us like gangsters that have a drinking habit, okay? So we were not raised in an environment where we were cuddled. So I don't cuddle. I don't know how to cuddle. My child is teaching me how to cuddle. She is literally the only being I cuddle. Outside of my child, everybody else is getting the smoke. On top of that, my culture is a mixture of West African and French. Have you ever gone to France? Have you ever been around French people? Do you see how French people speak to you? Especially when you're mispronouncing French words? So you want me to take West African, spicy AF, and French culture, judgmental AF, and wrap that into a bow of like fake sweet? I can't. I beg. I can't. I can't do it. But I will strive to be more gentle, yes, with my speech, because my intent is not to offend, but rather to enlighten. I want you to open your brain and receive new information. I want you to be smarter because you've met me. I want you to live a better life because you've met me. I want you to believe in yourself because you've met me. I want you to be so gangsta about getting the things that you want out of your life because you've met me. I want you to stop playing games with yourself because you met me. I want you to wake up to this truth that you are the shit. And then some because you've met me. And we're not gonna get there if I lie to you and play games. So yes, I am harsh. I am hard. But that's because I believe in you. And I'm putting my whole heart and soul into this. So I need you to join me with that same level of dedication. And if you're not somebody that's serious about improving themselves, then this space is not for you. Because I am a Virgo Mars baby. All I do is find problems, and I'm very good at it.